Hello guys, so welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing the new 16 boxes that have come into the shop. As you can see here, we have all different types of boxes and we're going to be getting in depth about each and every single one of them and their cool special abilities. As you can see, these boxes have the names on them, so it's kind of like a cheap way of getting boxes with names on them, which is quite interesting. Because you'd think it would ruin the market of those boxes, which have to go with the neon ones that originally have the name on them, and are usually the big ones. So it's something new, and I think the Facebook is doing a great job at adding new things, but I don't know how this is going to turn out based on the market. So you can see here it's $17.99, but for the price of it compared to all the neon boxes, which I'll put the number on the screen, it's honestly a pretty good deal. So let's get into the properties. So you have 16 boxes total, ranging from sulfur all the way across these various varieties of different things you can store, and honestly it's very interesting because you get a lot of different things, a lot of new things, and each and every single one of them, besides the ammunition, which I'll get into later, have a see-through ability where you can see the ores that's inside of them, which is kind of unique. And we're going to be first starting off with sulfur. So even though if you put, so you can see here, if you put a sulfur ore in there, you can still see it in there. It does also work with metal, and you can see here, metal, the metal ore. It also works with stone, but it does change shapes. But for some reason, there's no metal variant, which is kind of strange. You think that they have a metal variant, but it's still sulfur. But either way, it's still see-through. So basically, all three of these boxes, including the ore, even with metal, it still shows sulfur. So it's kind of interesting in how that works. But these four boxes here, no matter what ore you kind of put in, it's kind of sulfur or stone. But they still have the names on them, so you can still organize your box perfectly, and you should still be able to see it at night time. So that's a big plus, especially with the neon boxes that we had. I'm doing an example here: sulfur, metal, and stone, and then the ores. And you can see here, each one of them is filled up. Though, yeah, like I said earlier, it is sulfur, but the stone does some texture. I'm hoping that in the future they can add a metal variant to go along with this pack, because it's kind of strange that you can't really see the metal, but you can see the stone. So I'm hoping to add that in the future, but for now it's a pretty unique feature, and I really like it because you're able to see it inside the boxes, which is kind of cool. And I do like how it's 2 storage, but we should maybe make it so it's 3, so you're going to have metal in there. Next box is going to be the med box, and just like the forehand, and most of them as well here, if you put a med stick in there, you can see here it has a bunch of cool med sticks, and it's honestly very interesting because it has a bunch of cool. It's not just when you put the med stick and you just get a med stick, you get a med kit and all sorts of things in there, and it looks up very uniquely. It's very interesting and very pleasing. And once again, it has the name on it, and you can see in the dark. So it's a very, in my opinion, very good investment to buy these things because it overall just makes your life a bit easier. Next, we're going to be having the guns, and just like all of them beforehand, if you were to put the gun in there, it would show up as a few guns in there. And as you can see here, it's very see-through, and you can see all the different weapons in there, which indicates that you have weapons in there. And then once again, it is glow in the dark, and it's see-through. Another one is food. This one with food though is very interesting because instead of having just a just a top angle, you can have a side angle as well. So I put a food in there. You can see from the side. You can see all the different things in there. You have the basket from the crates you can get food from. And honestly, I really like the side of this one the most because I feel like it's more versatile. You can still see in it from the top, even with these little holes right there, but mostly from the side. So if you were to make a open core, you can probably see the boxes or see what's in there easier from the side view. So it just look more pleasing. Next is boom. This is a big one because with the neon signs, the boom costs so much money. I forgot how much money it costs, but I'll put the number on the screen. But it costs a lot of money, and by adding this in Rust for 17 bucks, you get the whole idea of things, including the boom. And though you cannot see it from the side, which is kind of depressing, you can still see it from the top. And so if I put a rocket in there, you can see all the different booms, and very unique and very interesting. And you can see lots of C4, lots of booms. I really like what they did here in Face Punch by making this pack by adding all the things inside of it, because it really looks pleasing and interesting. Like they put time into it. Honestly, I appreciate that because over the past few years they've been putting them things aside, but by doing this, it's very helpful for us to see. It's very pleasing, and overall, I just feel like it just boosts it. Once again, glows in the dark and has a name on it. Next is components. This one is very similar to the rest of them as well. That's the standard. You put comms in there, and it will show. And overall, you have some pretty good comms, pretty good textures in there. Besides the rope, it kind of looks like a bush to me. Once again, glows in the dark, and it has a text on it. Next is clothing. Now I'm going to announce this one because with the armor one as well, because they have kind of the same properties. If I were to put this in there, it looks like that. And I have to put armor, which is this. They look the exact same. So I wish they would have done it a little bit differently. But overall, these two have the exact same features. The armor one, right here, you can see armor goes in the dark, and same with the clothing one. Though with the closing one's a little bit darker, which I don't think it should matter, because once again, the big main takeaway from this DLC is that it has the names, the text, and everything, which makes it so much easier to find boxes, not having to search through your core or having to spend like $200 or whatever for the neon stuff. Next is charcoal. This one is very good in my opinion because just the way it's laid out. It's very easy and has its kind of own texture. Some of these have the same textures. Like with these over here, it's not very hard to tell, but this one right here is very like dedicated to itself. Also, the only problem I see with this is the charcoal is so dark you can hardly see it in there. But once again, it has everything you need. It goes in dark. It has a neon sign that says the same on it. Now, I want to be moving on to the one I do not like at all, and this is the Emma one. And it's mostly because unlike these, unlike the other 15 and 16, this one you cannot see inside of it, and this is probably to the I'm probably going to guess that it's probably due to the fact that the ammo is just so small that if they added too much inside of it, which I don't think they did to the boom. If you look at the boom, see how many are stacked up in there. I thought if they did ammo, you probably like lag a game out. But still, I think it would be nice to have at least a little bit of ammo, or at least to be able to see inside of it. But once again, it has the ammo and it has the neon text with the glow in the like see it at night time ability. Next is wood. This is a big one because we all need wood for rust, and this is a very important one because if you look inside, it kind of looks like the piles that you get on the spawn beach, and I actually like that a lot. And I also love the design. As you can see here, the wood pillars, holding boxing, and the metal crazy cross. I actually love this. It's very not modern but very old timey, and honestly, I think it's a great design by the developers. The steel handles with the rebar handles are really nice. I personally, this is probably my favorite out of all of them here. And then once again, it goes in dark, has a neon sign with a name on it. Next is tools. Now this one I wish they would have done somewhat more like the food, where you put grills on the top and you put a side view, but sadly it's kind of just grills on the top and hard to see into it. So put a tool in there, you can see in here, if you look very closely, you can see it's kind of just a bunch of tools, but it's very hard to see. So this is probably one of my least favorite ones because you can't really tell what is actually in there. It's kind of just like mushed into a pile. But once again, tools goes in dark, very important, and it's a win-win. Now I like what they did with scrap because they kind of went off the food one, but they made it so it grows on all the sides, and honestly, it just looks amazing. I love scrap like the most. You can see here, you put scrap in there. The scraps do look a little big, but honestly, I think they're more realistic than the freaking tiny ones right here. Because if you look at that, it sort of fits perfectly. But once again, this one is see-through on all sides, which I love. I wish they would have done it with all of them, especially the ammo one, because I would have loved to see the little ammos in there. But overall, neon, it goes in the dark, and I will show you what it looks like when they're in the dark. As you can see here, I'm not in a fully dark area because I don't know how to make this so dark, but as you can see here, they glow in the dark, and they actually look really cool, especially from far away, because you're looking right here, it honestly just looks really good, especially from the angles, because with beforehand angles they would mess it up, but as you can see here, you can still see the text mostly, and I think it looks really great, honestly, throughout the wall boxes with the text they used. And as we make way up here, you can also see from above, though this is one of the problems I had beforehand, but it was fixed below, but not up here, as you can't really see the ones down there. See when you're right here, you can sort of still see them, as long as you're generally close. But with these, they are still seeable, but not as well as I'd like them, but that's still a good job by Face Punch. And you see look around here, very cool, very light too, and overall, some good boxes to be honest. I honestly am very proud with this DLC. I'm really curious to see how neon prices go down, because I'm going to assume that if you do have them, I would recommend selling, because the prices of these, the neons will go down a bunch, like so much, because these are so much cheaper and honestly probably be better. Honestly, I prefer these over the neon boxes, because the neon boxes are sort of old. You can see them at night time, but these you can see them at night time, and they have their own textures and abilities, which honestly is just worth $17. I would pay $17 for these over one of the neon skins, because it's just overall better thing, better DLC or whatever, and honestly it's just big, like, saving money and stuff. So last, should you buy this? I think yes, you should, just based off of the neon prices and everything like that. And if you were to buy the neon boxes, which are cool, you would probably in the future regret it because they are going to drop down heavily. So if you were going to buy Neon prices, I would wait a couple of months or maybe a month to watch the prices drop down to buy them. But overall, I think this is just better in general in terms of the skins and in terms of how Face Punch did it. And overall, I'm pretty proud of Face Punch. So yes, I recommend buying these. Hello guys, and this is a little extra bit to the video. As you can see here, you can look at the prices that stop and drop down. You can see here it's at 25, and is this one of the second most expensive ones? And it went back up a little bit because people were like, "Oh no, it's not worth that much," and then it just goes straight back down. So $25 back down to $15, which shows how the market is about to go crazy low. And you look at the sell orders here. Yes, it is going up, but that's only because people are selling before it was all the way back down. You can also see it here with the boombox by looking at the prices here. As you can see here, it's kind of the same time where it's up at 20th, it drops down immediately just because they knew the update was coming, and then it goes here like, oh, questioning themselves, and then it drops all the way back down from $57, but we'll call it even 60 to 38. That is almost a $20 loss, and it's only going to keep going down more. One of the last but not least ones is this one right here. And with every single one, I promise you, with every single Neon drop box, it's the exact same price. You see, look here, you see, look at February 20th, and every single one, and they immediately drop back down. People are like, oh no, it's not worth that much, and they go back up, and they may go back down. This went from $20 to $15. I know that might seem like a lot, but it has been holding steady for a pretty decent time. Looks like we can look at the lifetime here, and you can see it's been pretty steadily here, but you can just see it immediately drop down right here. You can see it drop down here. This is because of the market crash back then, and right here again, and here, but this one is just going straight back down, not looking to change at all weekly or anytime soon. Weekly, it just goes down, down, down. So this is something that will affect mostly everybody in the market, of course. So I would look forward to selling all your things or buying if you want to buy at very low prices. So if you wanted to buy this, I'd probably buy at maybe a price. This one at 15, maybe $10 to $9 on $10, because just how low it will be going, and it will only continue to get lower and lower. So I recommend, if you have any, sell immediately before you honestly lose even more money. Alright, that's it guys for the Neon boxes. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you later.